Carmichael is the AMA Supercross champion. And Ryan Villopoto wins his third championship in a row.
Ricky Brabec becomes the 13th biker to win multiple Dakar titles.
Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to Title 24, presented by NBC Sports. I am Ricky Carmichael. My man, RV, my one and only co-host, best in the business. He's off today. He's flying to Charlotte. If you guys remember, I think it was last episode. His boys are all in. They have fully committed to taking moto serious. So now RV again is flying to Charlotte today to look at a rig to possibly buy to house all those motorcycles that it's going to take to have the room to fit all those things in. So good luck, RV. You will be missed by our great fans, our listeners, and our viewers for sure. There's no doubt about that. Before we get going, we got an exciting podcast today. We got to thank our sponsors: United Motorsports, Boxo, Quad Lock, Dunlop. We appreciate all you guys. You guys are great partners to us, and we couldn't do it without you guys. I think the fan engagement and how you guys interact with our fans is fantastic. But thank you for that. Nevertheless, RV, you will be missed, but you're being a great dad and doing the best that you can. And I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to watch that journey. And I hope, because you're flying all the way from Cali, that that when you get to check out that big rig, it was worth your while, and you can drive that bad boy back. So he'll be posting. We told him to take some content to be able to share with you guys. So we'll see what happens. But anyhow, so we had an opportunity because the Dakar Rally is just right around the corner. Here you go. And you can see the 2025 Dakar Rally starting January 3rd. Okay. Each day from the 3rd, it'll be on the NBC Sports channel and on demand. And that is on Peacock, 1 hour daily program. This event is just insane when you think about what these riders, athletes, drivers go through. It's incredible. And we had the opportunity to talk to someone, and I'm going to bring him on. Without further ado, this gentleman is just an absolute legend in the Dakar Rally. He's a two-time winner, American as well. So all of our American fans that tune into Title 24, we are excited to bring this young man on. It's Ricky Brabec. Ricky, dude, thanks for coming on Title 24 today. Excited to have you on. Got a laundry list of questions and stuff. And what you guys do is so gnarly. I mean, dude, you've won the Dakar Rally 2 times. You almost won the championship last year, right? And you hurt yourself. Was it the last race?
It was the last race in October, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. It's like, oh man, it was funny because one of our buddies like that, we're on our adventure group ride, and it's like, look at, even the best have some bad days sometimes. But I mean, first and foremost, like, give us, like, I've always been interested in, like, what, dude, how did you start riding motorcycles to begin with?
I mean, yeah, well, first off, thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah.
And I started out racing BMX. As a kid, I lived in Riverside, and BMX tracks were close. And then, my dad always rode motorcycles in a little area in the high desert called Honda Valley. And then, he started bringing me after work to ride my PW 50, and it kind of just snowballed from there. I like that more than riding bicycles, so I just stuck to it. And then we moved to the high desert in Hesperia, where I can ride from my house every day. And then, I tried my first race in Ridgecrest, California, I don't know, 2007 or something. And
also, that's when your rally, like your racing career started back. It was in 2007.
Yeah, I was still in high school, tried my first off-road race, and I was like, man, this is badass. I was hooked to it. And then that I just kept following that path until 2015. I got a call from Honda and Quinn Cody basically asking me what I thought about rally. And I was like, I don't know anything about this. I watch it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know anything about this stuff. I just watch it on TV. I watch the Dakar because it's aired. So yeah, I'm gonna watch the Dakar, and Well, if you're interested, we'd like to come. We'd like to come meet you and have you, join us for a race.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, dude, I'm in. Where do I start?
Yeah.
So, a close friend of mine, Quinn Cody, came up to my house. We did 2 days of road books, and I was like, yeah, I'm still a little bit confused. I have no idea what's going on, but I
Dude,
think
so like that's one thing I wanted to ask you. Like, explain to me and all of our viewers and listeners, like what is a road, like what's road book?
a road book is like a paper map, basically. It kind of looks like this.
Holy crap. Oh,
Where's my
dude.
camera at?
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good.
So this is a road book, but now it's all digital. So yeah, we have kilometers, we got distances, we got basically an arrow. It kind of shows us more or less the direction we're going, and yeah, we follow this, all day. So
Dude.
this is the road book. This is what you got to live by, and this is what you have to trust. Well, you have to trust your instincts too, but this is what we have right here.
So let me ask you this. So like, are the rules, or at least in the past, I know we're going to get to how you guys are using a digital roadmap this year, right? For the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, like, before we go to that, so like you just showed us that the road book right there. Like, are you able to study that days beforehand, or do they just release the stage to you like the morning of the race or the night before the race? Like, and what's the studying of the road? What does that look like for a stage of the Dakar? Like, if you're getting stage 4 and you're like, okay, show me the roadmap. When do you get that?
So when I started rally, you get your road book like the night before. But then when you get the road book the night before, it looks like this. Like, it looks like that. And then when you get it the night before, you can do whatever you want to do. Like, you can color it like this.
Yeah. Some people like, do you use colors? And the reason I'm asking, like, so I'm a color guy as far as, okay, green I know is this, red I know is this, yellow I know is this, or blue I know is that why you do that? Or
yeah, so we all have our own like specific colors that like you just mentioned. You this color means that.
Yeah.
So that was one of my first road books, and there's not very much color on it. I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, back 2015 when I started, all the way up until 2020.
Yeah.
We were getting the road books. We would finish a stage at 3 p.m. We'd get our road book for the next day. So that'd give us, all night to color it and to look at it and to do it, whatever you wanted to do to it. And then 2020, they were giving us our road book 20 minutes before we started the special. And then that lived on until now, basically, because now we have the tablet. So, before my time, I would assume they got the road book, the day before the stage that they're going to race. But I think, some people were caught, doing some illegal things. Yeah. But now the last couple of years, we were getting it 20 minutes before we started. So you couldn't really color it too much because I mean, you got to, dude, the road books come out. They're like this big and round. You got to load that thing in your bike. And that takes a couple minutes, to tape the back of it, get it stuck to your tower. And then you got to like spin this wheel to roll the road book in reverse. So that way, when you're done with the road book, it's like on 0. Right. And then when you're doing that, you're also trying to color it and look at whatever you want to look at. Yep. And, by the time you're done with all that, you have like 5 minutes. And then now you're like, all right, well, I need to stretch. I need to, drink some water. I need to, eat breakfast or a snack because we're on the bike all day. So you just try to eat as much as you can when you can. And
dude, that's what I was going to ask too. It's like, what's your typical day on an average of the rally, like at Dakar, just because that's the crown jewel, obviously. So like, what is your typical day? Do you get up? I mean, are some mornings shorter than others? You have a little more time than others. Like, what on your average, what's your day like?
On the average, I would say lights out in the camper, no matter what, like 8:30 p.m. And on average, our wake up time is 2:30 in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I mean, I wake up an hour before I have to leave the bivouac, and the bivouac is basically like home base for the night.
Yep.
So I typically wake up an hour before I have to leave the bivouac, and that gives me plenty of time to gear up, because it takes like, I don't know, 6 minutes to gear up, right? Like it's not, it doesn't take very long. And then you have to try to eat as much breakfast as you can at 3 a.m. And now it's like, well, I got a plate of eggs, I got some other things, but your stomach doesn't agree, you know, like you're just trying to pound all this protein in your body, but it's too early. So it's like, man, I'm not eating that much in the morning. And then now your hour's up. So now you got to get to the bivouac exit. Now you got to ride the highway for, I don't know, dude, 2, 3, 4 hours. And then
holy crap, really?
Yeah. Oh, you got to ride the highway to the start of the special. And that can be anywhere from like 60 miles to 180 miles. And there's a speed limit. So you're only doing 60 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And it's really cold in the morning. You got windbreakers on, you got windbreaker pants on, you got heated gloves. I mean, you're stuck on the dirt bike, just, you know, like the Michelin man going down the road.
That's a hell of a morning before you even start the stage.
And the stage will start at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow. And then you race, and on the average, how long is each stage, or is it a wide range?
I mean, for the Dakar, it's pretty average. You know, they want it to be tough, so they really put the distance out there. But I'd say race time in the special is probably 4 to 5 hours, on top of like the 1 to 3 hours transfer in the morning. And then when you're done at the stage, you still got to ride highway back to the bivouac. So it's like you're on the bike for 10 hours a day, 8 hours a day at least.
Dude, I can't imagine the amount of calories. I'm thinking like the amount of calories you guys are going through, like how hard it is to keep up, and you're trying to fuel, and like, I mean, dude, for me, and I think of whenever I'm doing any other kind of cardio, like I do a lot of cardio on road bikes and mountain bikes and stuff, like, and for me, it's hard to eat while I'm working out, and your heart rate is, you know, just at a medium pace, you know, it's like, it's just hard. I can't imagine, you know, that's got to be an art to the rally, and especially Dakar also, right? Is like learning to fuel yourself properly. No?
Yeah, that is, I think, one of the most important things you could do in the rally is find, you know, the right nutrition at what times you need it. I mean, well, you don't really have a choice at what time you can eat it.
Yeah.
But like you said, you got to keep up with the calorie intake and the protein intake. And it's not that easy when you're on the bike, you know, half a day, right? And
yeah,
we carry snacks with us, and everyone has like their own personal preference of what they're going to carry in their jacket. And I mean, I bring Johnny Campbell with me, 11-time Baja 1000 champion. He's like my helper, my motorhome driver. He cooks breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I mean, it's taken us, I don't know, 5 years to figure out, 6 years to figure out what works best for both of us, you know. And it's a lot of shopping on the road, you know, because also the motorhome drivers, they leave the bivouac. They can't leave the bivouac until the first bike leaves the bivouac, whether that's, you know, 4 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning, or 2 in the morning, or 5 in the morning. They also have a big transfer. They have to drive 6-8 hours a day to each bivouac, you know, and set up, you know, the pits or their truck with the tents and all the motorhomes, and cook. Like it's a big job for those guys as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I think me and Johnny have it pretty dialed in as to what works.
Yeah, I think, and you know what's cool about how you have him on your side is like, yeah, all of his accolades and how many times he's won Baja. And I mean, it's like kind of in SuperMotocross world, you know, where these guys, like for me, I had Johnny O'Mara as kind of my right-hand guy, and he was my mentor, and he went to the races with me, and he made my life easier, and he gave me advice and things to what to look out for, and probably similar stuff that Johnny does for you as well. That, I mean, it's hard to put a price tag on that, but that's cool that I never knew that. That's cool that that he does that for you. You know what I mean? Like that's got to be a massive. I'm assuming it's a massive help, and that's what like kind of blows my mind. So you've been around moto your whole life at this stage, and you racing in the desert and being a rally racer, and then you've been exposed to the SMX world. Like our stuff is so controlled, and how we prep and how we practice every day, and everything is so repetition. And I was wondering, sitting here, like when I knew you were gonna come on, I'm like, dude, how did, like on a Tuesday, you know, like how do you train for this? You know, like how do you train for rally?
Yeah, I mean,
Like train on the motor, like how do you practice? Like
Supercross and motocross is wild. I mean, because Andrew Short was racing for a while, so you know, I got to talk a lot with Andrew, and I still do talk a lot. So I was always, you know, I'm super curious all the time about that side of racing, because I don't.
Yeah, what transfers, right? Like, do what? Like, what transfers from Supercross to motocross? Like Supercross, motocross to rally? Like, did he say anything?
No, I don't think anything transfers, dude.
That's
He's like, man, you guys are nuts. And I'm like, I mean, for me, it's normal because I grew up doing it, right? Like, so it's second nature.
No, it's not normal, brother. I'm telling you right now, you guys are so gnarly.
Yeah, but I'm not going to Supercross track and jumping a triple, dude. Like for me, that's gnarly because that's so scary. Yeah, you're not going 80 miles an hour, but it's all like rhythm and timing and being, you know, persistent. And I'm always asking Andrew this because I don't know, you know, I'm on the off-road side, right? So yeah, I mean, on a Tuesday, I'm definitely watching what I eat because I'm like a bigger guy and I'm not, you know, I'm not fit for motocross and supercross, but you know, bicycling, mountain biking, I ride trails a lot. I ride
that's what I was wondering, like on bike activity. Like I know, I mean, I follow you and stuff, and like I mean, you're super active. I mean, dude, you're a professional athlete. You're the best at some of the best at anybody's who ever done this. So like, I was just more curious of like what you do on bike, because it's so crazy to me. Like I was all about repetition when I was racing, like on bike stuff during the week. Like I had to practice 3 days a week. And if I didn't practice 3 days a week, I'd go into the race thinking like, oh man, I'm not as prepped as I really would like to be, you know. But even though I did all the off bike stuff, the on bike stuff, and I'm just like thinking like, how in the hell does this dude like just go out and moto? But you do ride trails then?
Oh yeah. I mean, I ride a lot, and I don't ride moto that much because there's not really a motocross track nearby, but I do ride moto as much as I possibly can. And, you know, I tend to ride probably more than I'd rather go riding than go to the gym. So I ride more than I go to the gym. And, for road books, it's really tough because I mean, dude, no, you can't just buy this. Like this is built. And we spend time making road books, and this is, I don't know, this is 120 kilometer road book. So this is like 75 miles probably. But if I were to make this road book, it would take me probably a week, 8 hours a day on the computer to try to make a road book really this good.
Yeah.
So we have a guy on our team that makes road books for us, which is really helpful, really good.
I'm sure HRC isn't playing around, right? They have a pretty badass setup, right?
Yeah, they have it figured out. And I mean, when you go rally training, it's long distance stuff, right? So I go by myself sometimes, most of the time, and it's not like smart to do that. I carry a tracker with me. I have my phone with me. I have snacks with me, my wallet, of course, in case I need something somewhere. But obviously there's that fear if you crash, you know, realistically, what's going to come get you if you're in the middle of the desert? You know, probably nobody. When we go out with the team, it's a little bit more safe. But I mean, yeah, when I go do road books, I'm texting Johnny. I'm sending him my tracking info. I'm texting my trainer, Jimmy Lewis, telling him what I'm doing. I send them the track log so that way they can follow my track and see the track log. and a lot goes into it, right? So
Yeah.
we're on a factory rally bike, and that
Yeah.
it's not just a Honda generator where you just put oil in it once every 5 years, and after one ride, your tires are smoked. You got to change tires, your filter, your oil.
Yeah.
You could probably do 2 days rally training before your oil needs to be changed, and it's just.
And you do all that. You can do all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. We got a shop right here.
So the reason I say that is just because, and I think it's awesome, and you have to be able to, because it's part of survival, especially if you're training and you're in the middle of nowhere, and like you guys are most of the time. So you need to know how to fix your stuff. But you would be mind blown these days, and you probably already know this, how many guys don't know, in our world, don't know how to even tighten their chain, dude.
Oh man.
It's crazy. Can you imagine that? Like, so I did all my practice bike stuff and everything. Like, I did all that. I didn't have a practice bike mechanic until my last 3 years of my professional career. I mean, by that time, I probably didn't even really need one, because I was changing everything. You name it. They sent me something, I changed it, whether it's carburetors, if I needed to jet my carburetor, if I needed to change the rear wheel, if I needed to change chain, sprocket, whatever, I could do it all. Only thing I couldn't do is like a lower end. I couldn't do a bottom end kit on the 2-stroke stuff. But anyhow, yeah, you'd be mind blown that, like torque wrenches, they don't know much about that. It's nuts, but that's so cool, because you got like, so what happens if you have like a front flat tire in the rally? Like,
so we run moose tubes.
oh, okay, yeah, got it.
But I mean, dude,
do they ever malfunction?
They can, for sure, 100%. But you also have to take care of like tire slices on the rocks.
Yep.
Because if you get a tire slice, I mean, you're like, the lube is going to shoot out of the tire, and then your moose is going to get super hot, and then your moose is going to get smoked, and then next thing you know, you're kind of with a moose flat, which is not that cool, because dude, we don't even run rim locks in our freaking rally bike wheels.
Right. Hey, I was thinking about this. So like, we're always watching, like, and I try to catch up on some of the stages, the gnarlier stages. And when we're like promoing your guys' race during Supercross, you see them, I'm sure, and they'll show you hauling ass through the desert or whatever. Where would you say that is the hardest thing, or the hardest conditions for you personally, on the Dakar, like on stages? What's the hardest thing for you? Like, for me, to give you an example, in moto, it would have been hard packed, slippery, gnarly, cupped out whoops. That would have been like super hard for me. So I would have to like make sure that I didn't override, and I was super precise through there. Like, for you, like, is it hauling ass through the sand and not knowing what's happening? Is it the slower, rockier section? Like, what's gnarly for you outside of just preserving your bike?
So, I mean, I grew up in like the Mojave Desert, and the open desert and the rocks and the high speed stuff is totally fine for me. I would say like my weaker point that I kind of dread more is the sand dunes. You have the big sand dunes that kind of flow really good, but then you have the really short sand dunes that are just, I don't know, it's like doing burpees, dude, for 3 hours.
Oh,
Just the short sand dunes that are like 12 feet high, but have a cut on one side. So you're just either, I don't know why, but in almost all my years of rally, we always go the direction where the sand dune is cut right here and the smooth side is like right here. We always go this direction, to where we're always jumping off of the cut. And, those get tiring after a while. I mean, dude, your ankles, your hands, after jumping and flat landing, for 3 hours, it slows me down, because I'm a bigger guy, and it gets hard for me.
hey, I had heard one time, Ricky, that there was like sometimes on certain routes or stages that it's almost better to not start first, because you can track where the 2 or 3 guys in front of you have gone, and you don't go off on a detour. Is there any truth to that?
Yeah, 100%. The top 10 guys, they start 3 minutes apart. So if you start first and you're opening the road, leaving a nice tire mark for the next guy, you're going to lose 3 minutes no matter what to the second guy. Then now you put a third guy in there. Now you're going to lose 6 minutes. And then if you put a fourth guy, you know, the time just keeps adding up. So you never really want to open the sand dunes, because the sand dunes are always like the scariest to open because of the cuts. You can't see high sun. You know, the sand just looks all white, so you don't know when it's going to drop.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to really wait for the stage information on the next day to you need to know how the stages are going to unfold as far as terrain, distances, the speed average. Because if you start first, like if you start first on a 500-kilometer day, I mean, your brain is going to be fried from reading the road book, reading the terrain, and trying not to get lost, versus a guy that starts 10th that's going to have 9 lines in front of him that reads the road book and the terrain, but doesn't have to read the road book as much as the guy in first, so he gets more of a break. But yeah, I mean, you have to really play your cards right and make sure like you're the day that you want to open needs to be like the easiest day. I mean, it's hard to say though how that is going to play out, right? You don't know until you're there. So you just have to play your cards right and ride really well. I would say if you can be in the top 5 but not first every day, you can win the Dakar.
That's cool. That's cool. So for the new digital Navi, is that like, does it take a little bit of pressure and prep off of you? Like, does it make it easier or not necessarily? I'm curious about how that's going to work.
I think we're all curious how that's going to work, but I mean, it is cool. It's a cool design.
Yeah,
it makes loading the road book way easier because you don't have the paper road book to like spin inside your tower. But dude, the glare when the sun is behind you, like right here, and it's glaring on your tower, and you get blinded. You're just like, damn, I think you're trying to ride like off to the side like this, or stand up over your bars to like shadow it. Mm-hmm. But there's also it's basically a tablet, you know, it's like an iPad mini. But I don't know, you fall over right here in the rocks and just one rock like hits the screen,
it's over.
Yeah, your screen can just completely
shatter. I didn't think of that. And then you can't, and I'm guessing you're not allowed to have a paperbacked one, right? Like that's probably banned for.
Well, you can't put it on your bike.
Dude, I didn't think of that. Holy crap. Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
And then like, if that happens, you can follow the lines and probably do okay, but you don't know where the speed zones are and you don't know where the waypoints are. So if you come smoking into a speed zone, like if it's a 30-kilometer-an-hour speed zone and you come into it at 80, dude, you're going to have such a big penalty that, I mean,
right,
you're going to be bummed. Or you miss a waypoint. That's 10, 15 minutes.
Dude, that sucks, man. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I think the guy, you know what? I almost feel like, and I'm sure you guys have your strategy and you guys are ready to go for the 25 Dakar coming up here in a few weeks. Like, I almost feel like being conservative in this situation would probably, in the long game, probably be better. And because you don't know what you don't know, like, right? And it's like, if you're not sure, play it a little conservative, right? I don't know. That's what I would do.
Yeah, I mean, we try to be conservative, and we all say the same thing every time. Oh yeah, let's just wait and we'll see how the first week unfolds, and we'll see how, you know, so and so's riding, and we'll see how he's riding, and we'll see how he's riding. But dude, the first day, I mean, we're not literally banging bars out there because we start in 3-minute gaps.
Yeah.
But if you watch the times, we might as well just be on a starting gate because our times are so close and we're riding 120% from day one until the very last day. Like it's crazy how fast we're going now.
Yeah.
And I mean, there ain't no one conserving anything. Like we're just going for it.
Yeah. All right. So like, and I got like 2 more questions, dude. So like, the bikes and the equipment, I mean, again, HRC is, they ain't trying to, they're definitely not saving their way to the top. They have nice stuff. We all know that. How much would you say is an advantage? So like super motocross, like those guys that you watch in like I think all those guys can win on all brands. There some bikes work better in other areas, but is there in rally is there a way bigger advantage having the best bike, or are they all pretty close at the end of the day? They just do certain things different in other areas, would you say?
I would say, definitely, every bike is better in certain areas.
Yeah.
I only know Honda and HRC because that's all I've been with, but our bike works really well everywhere, especially our new chassis.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can go the rally bike, and you're not that fast, but it flows really good everywhere, and all the riders are really stoked with it. And I know some other brands had issues in certain areas, and I think they've been working hard at figuring that out. But I mean, it's like anything else. Every bike works good here and not there, where I think a lot of it can be adjusted with a little bit of suspension and maybe some other things too. But
totally. I was curious, I mean, and I'm sure you guys hear it in rally is, like, oh, if I had his bike, I'd probably win or whatever. But at the end of the day, I do think that most bikes and factory teams, they have race winnable machines. It's just, some tracks or some courses might not work as well as it does in others. So you're going to do this for a few more years. I'm assuming you have some big goals that you want to accomplish. I mean, obviously I know you want to win every single Dakar that you go to for sure, but life after racing, like Toby's going to 4 wheels and like I went 4 wheels. Like, does that interest you? I know you played around with it a little bit this year. Would you like to do Dakar on 4 wheels if the opportunity arose?
I mean, who wouldn't, right?
Right.
That would be
nice to be strapped in, wouldn't it, brother?
Yeah, and have no worry. But no, it'd be super cool. Definitely looking forward to the future and seeing where it can go. However, 4 wheels would definitely be an option for me. It's not that easy. I don't think the rally people think of motorcycle guys as car racers, which is crazy, but time will tell. We'll see how long, motorcycles goes for us, and then we'll see where to push next. But 4 wheels is fun, and we'll see what we can do.
Well, that's cool, dude. We're looking forward to it. The 2025 edition, everyone listening to Ricky and I talk of the Dakar Rally starts January 3rd, and it's going to be on every single day, actually, at 8 p.m. on NBC Sports Peacock channel. And it'll also be on demand. So every day we'll be able to check you out. They're going to do like recaps. But the race starts, was it the 3rd, right?
Yep.
Yep. Starts on the 3rd, and 14 days of racing, 12 stages, I believe. So ready to go, dude. If you're not ready now, you're not going to be ready. Right?
Exactly. You're not going to learn anything from now. So you got to be as ready as you can be right now.
Yeah. Well, that's great, dude. We appreciate your time. Good luck. Go and get number 3 this year and bring that puppy home to the finish line, not only for yourself, but the good old USA.
That's right. Thank you guys. Thanks for having me. I'm definitely looking forward to the new year, and let's see what Dakar has in store for us.
Dude, that was so gnarly. And first of all, thank you, Ricky, for coming on. You're an absolute madman. and incredible at what you do. Just your story, like I've always known about Ricky, and his success, and just how good he is at what he does. But finally listening to what these guys go through, what these riders go through, and the details, it still blows my mind of the little prep time that they have for each stage, right? So like after stage 3, they don't get the stage 4 routes until afterwards. You know, it seems like from a safety standpoint, I mean, I know they want it to be challenging for everybody, but from a safety standpoint, it seems like, excuse me, that they would get these routes beforehand, so they know. You know, I mean, think about like Tour de France. I mean, they already know the stages and what's going on and where the tough parts are going to be. You know, and then also what was interesting listening to him was, you know, how he preps. I mean, the guy, you know, off bike, he preps a lot. But it's crazy how good they are and how talented they are in race situations when you can't do the practice stuff on the bike like you can for SMX. That to me is just, man, that seems so challenging. And then the hours too, like I've always heard a few little things about this. The hours are just unbelievable. Having to wake up that early, and just think about the things that can go wrong. I will say this, that just listening to Ricky and really diving in deep with him, with that conversation, I'm going to be tuned in every single day to the Dakar, especially it being so easy to watch on Peacock and having a review each day, just a quick little 1 hour recap. It's going to be epic. The strategy, see how the strategy plays out, and the different terrains. I'll say this, like as far as the rocky terrain, he's talking about what's the most challenging. I would fully agree with what he said there. That would be my worst. Oh, well, the rocks would be my worst. I wouldn't mind the sand, just because growing up in the sand. Now, obviously, the dunes are quite a bit different, but just incredible. He's a remarkable athlete, and I feel like all those competitors in the Dakar Rally, they don't get the credit that they deserve from the outside fans. You know, like endemically, they get a lot of support and respect, but just someone who's never ever watched it, I think that they deserve a lot more credit than what they get, because it's unbelievable. So make sure you guys tune in. You already got the details for that. Moving along, we talked about it last week. On December 29th, you're going to get the SuperMotocross World Championship season preview. That's going to be December 29th, 5 p.m. on Big NBC. So it's going to be after Christmas, a little bit before the chaos starts, before New Year's. You will not want to miss this at all. It is going to be good. The format, how they've done it, and the interviews, I've been lucky enough to kind of see the little bits of it and how it's going to play out. It's going to be epic. You guys probably won't be doing a whole much at that time of day during this time of year, so make sure you tune in. Again, Super Motocross World Championship season preview, 5 p.m. Eastern, only on Big NBC. I'm excited for it. I think you guys are really going to like it. Before we do the rollout, this is our last podcast of 2024. We will be back with you guys again. Thank you very much. Because of your support, we will be back, and our great sponsors' support, we will be back. We will start back fresh in 2025. But before I roll out and we say goodbye to you guys, RV and I just want to send our biggest thank you to all the supporters, even the non-supporters. We still value your view and your and listen, whether you view it or listen. Thank you very much. It's humbling. It really is humbling when we were talking about doing something like this, and then what it's grown to, even with our busy schedules. Obviously, we would love to take more time for it, and maybe, I think we will continue to do that, as we've seen a lot of growth this year. The fan engagement, the fan interaction, it's humbling. it really truly is how we just stumbled upon something that we enjoy to do. Thank you very much. We hope that all I can say, I know that I love, and RV loves, giving our insight and sharing some of our knowledge, more from a factual based side of things, just because we've lived it and we've done it at the level that you guys are watching. So and we thank you for appreciating our feedback. It definitely is, it's special, and we're very, very pleased and happy and thankful for your support. So that's it. We're going to see you on 2025. Again, before we go out, thank our great sponsors, like always, United Motorsports, Quad Lock, Dunlop, and Boxo. I think you'll be back again next year with us. We'll be doing some fun stuff. I think we're going to have a couple live shows, for sure. One, I know at the beginning of the year, sometime we'll get you the details soon on that. But nevertheless, from RV and I, thank you very much for an incredible 2024 season here at Title 24. To all our producers, co-producers, and everyone, the unsung heroes, thank you very much. And again, our fans, thank you for the interaction and engagement. We're going to keep kicking butt, and we're going to do it again in 2025. Everyone have a great holiday, great Christmas, and we'll see you in a few weeks.
Hi folks, Lee Diffie from NBC Sports here. If you truly enjoyed what you just watched, you can get more news, interviews, and highlights by subscribing to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube page. You can get it all, so go for it.